Film fans of YouTube, hello and welcome back to the channel. I am Josh, your movie apprentice, and today I'm going to be looking at Borderlands, directed by Eli Roth. Starring the talents of Cate Blanchett, Kevin Hart, the voice of Jack Black, Arianna Greenblatt, Jamie Lee Curtis. This is a very stacked cast for a video game movie. In Borderlands, we follow Lilith, who is hired as a bounty hunter to rescue the daughter of a wealthy businessman on the planet Pandora, which is known for its lawlessness and its chaotic insanity. Before I get into my review, if you like seeing on the channel, click the like button and subscribe for more video reviews that's coming all the time. But without further ado, let's jump into the review. Over the last few years, us video game fans have been eating good when it comes to big screen adaptations. Ever since Detective Pikachu showed the world that good video game adaptations can be made on the big screen, we have seen a wealth of either good video game movies or at least serviceable ones. Borderlands is a film that reminds us that video game adaptations can and will be disappointing sometimes. And that is not to say that this is an awful movie. Some people have claimed this to be unwatchable, but this is no Assassin's Creed. This isn't going back to the early 2000s Uwe Boll shenanigans that came with the video game adaptation movies. This is no Resident Evil series that goes on and on and on. However, this is very much a disappointing movie. And I am speaking as someone that has played the game a little bit, but I was never overly into the game. That was more my little brother's thing. He was the one that dedicated a lot of time to the game. I played the game casually. While the film does have the look and the feel of Borderlands, and some characters are done a decent amount of justice, especially our favorite annoying little robot Claptrap, Borderlands unfortunately devolves into many Hollywood cliches and some very off-putting toilet humor. Even discounting the fact this is a video game movie adaptation, it falls into some pitfalls that a lot of bad movies do. There is a reason there is a stigma against films that open up with narration explaining the story in a voiceover. That usually doesn't set up for a good movie going forward, and it is no different here. The film sets up the world, explains bolts to us, the viewer, but doesn't really follow through and gives us a very generic plot thread, complete with a prophecy about a chosen one. Borderlands takes a side character that acts as a voice in your ear as a player in Tiny Tina, and they make her one of the main players in this movie. And whilst Arianna Greenblatt does a serviceable job as Tiny Tina, this is a character that is very difficult to adapt to the big screen. This is her performance in the movie.
Time to make it rain with your body part.
And this is the Tiny Tina from the video games.
Lady's got a gut full of dynamite and a booty like how?
As you can see, the voice, the mannerisms, the level of unhinged craziness, it lends itself well to a video game world, but not necessarily to a live action film. And unfortunately, a lot of Tiny Tina's insanity and playfulness is stripped back in this one, though she does have a good dynamic with the character that effectively replaces Brick in this, and that is the big mass gentleman. They have some good banter between each other, almost like a big dumb brother looking after a crazy little sister. This film failed to give me any sort of emotional payoff or attachment to these characters, especially when it came to their relationships. There are moments where it seems like a self-sacrifice might be coming, or there are moments where there are these personal conversations that seem to come out of nowhere just to try and add a little bit of meat onto the story that don't work out. The big highlight for me is Claptrap. Jack Black plays the role of Claptrap absolutely perfect when it comes to just delivering the overwhelming positivity mixed with the passive aggressive sassiness that we know Claptrap for. There is a reason that one of the first DLCs for Borderlands was a mode where the Claptraps rose up so we could have a lot of fun shooting these little bastards, because the Claptraps were annoying, but they were also fun and endearing, and Jack Black absolutely nails that in this. However, there are diminishing returns when it comes to Claptrap, as towards the end, Some of the jokes just got zero laughs out of me. Don't get me wrong, there are moments where it had me in stitches. There's a particular scene which is built up so expertly by Jack Black's vocal performance and just the dialogue that comes out in that sequence that absolutely floored me and had me in stitches. But unfortunately, there aren't as many of those as I might have liked. And going into some of the other characters, Lilith and Roland are two of the four main characters from the first game and second game. And whilst the film excludes the characters of Mordecai and Brick, we do get Roland and Lilith, but it doesn't feel like these characters. They look like the characters, they are named the characters, doesn't feel like they are the characters. Kevin Hart, I expected him to go for his usual wacky comedic short man jokes. Thankfully, he doesn't do that and does try and play this role very straight. But it does feel like after a certain point, Roland begins to fall into the background a little bit, and Cate Blanchett as Lilith is fine, but they felt like a very boring character and thus were very hard to really get to enjoy. If anything, I preferred the character of Jamie Lee Curtis in this. She seems to balance this kind of wacky, kooky, laid back character. I couldn't really tell if she was phoning it in or not, but she was an enjoyable presence on screen when she was. Borderlands is just a stark reminder that video game movies, whilst they may look the part of the video game they are based on and might nail a couple of things about the characters, there is more expectation when it comes to video game movies these days, and Borderlands falls well short of them. From the lackluster story, the terrible world building, the really, really weak antagonist that never really feels like a threat, and there are some moments that are just straight up exposition. And exposition is good in small doses, but this film relies heavily on exposition at times, and that is a major deterrent. Before I grade this film, if you like seeing on the channel, click the like button for more video reviews that's coming all the time, as well as some video essays coming up quite shortly. Without further ado, I'm going to have to say that Borderlands for me is a lukewarm cup of tea. So Borderlands, have you seen it? If you have, let me know you thought down in the comments below. Were you a hardcore player of the games? Let me know what you think the film did right. What did the film do a massive injustice to? Do let me know in the comments. Let's keep it civil and let's talk movies. Coming up on the channel, there are a few things I need to review. Babes is finally out in the UK this Friday. I will get a review out for that on Friday. We obviously have Alien Romulus coming out. We are finally getting Trap in the UK as well as It Ends With Us. There is a lot of movies coming out. And I can't wait to try and review as many of those as possible for you guys. But until next time, my name is Josh. I've been your Movie Apprentice, and I'll see you all in the next video.